Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is David Brooks, the Cadillac Counselor, coming at you to tell you a piece of my mind. You know, this is Black History Month. Everybody's watching their videos, taking time to represent Black history. I've been watching it on Facebook, been watching it on Instagram, YouTube. Everybody's talking about Black people. But when it comes to looking at our history, I study our history, all the way back from Juneteenth, when it started, Emancipation Proclamation, throughout all of history. People, we got to really look at what's going on in our society. Slavery is not over. Slavery has just gotten sophisticated, I would say. I know that addiction has been running rampant in our communities. And people say, oh, well, Black people this and they've been doing that. But nobody's really talking about true Black history. Black people were given cocaine back in Mississippi, Alabama. All of those generations were given cocaine as slaves so that they could work harder, so that they could work all day long. What happened? Whenever they became freed, they ended up going in withdrawal. During that withdrawal period, they made them run wild. What else would you do if you had people that were eating cocaine breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then you free them, and then you take away that cocaine from them? And people always think to themselves, why are Black people just so dysfunctional in so many ways? Well, think about it. Generations after generations were then addicted to cocaine. What happened was they got freed and then they moved all across the country. Now, people say, well, it should be just in the South. No, Black people moved all over. Black people moved to New York. People moved to Detroit. People moved to California, to Cleveland. I mean, they were moving everywhere. Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. People were moving across the United States, mostly to the bigger cities. And why were they doing this? Because they were trying to get some type of way to make money. People were tired of sharecropping. People were tired of working for absolutely nothing. Now look at today's society. We look at welfare. We look at minimum wage. We look at all of these things that's really created to hold us back. And whenever we start to look at where all these things come from, we realize that people have been doing this to us for years. You sit down and play Monopoly. Say you're the last one coming into the table and everybody else has houses, hotels, and everything else. The board is full. Then they come in and they say, you know what? You can play now. Let me give you a couple of dollars. They might even give you twice as much, maybe 3 to 4 times as much as you should have started with. The problem is every time you roll the dice, you're going to lose. And you have to roll and be very, very lucky. That's why you're starting to see people in society, especially in the African American community, start to look at basketball, football, all of the wannabe rappers, because it's very, very hard to break in. And most time people have to use their athletic ability. That's the only thing we've been really looked at for years. Look at the old slavery right here. All it talks about is how good and hardworking they are. That's all we were looked at for many years. We wasn't looked at our intelligence. But now we have the opportunity to get anything we want. We can be in college. We can go and get degrees. We can be the CEO of a company. The problem is, look at our society now. People don't want to read. People don't want to go to school. I see parents, not even just Black people, but just kids in general. They all want to be YouTube sensations. They want to go out there and they want to hustle and they want to live the lifestyle. That's slavery. We ain't even started talking about addiction. Whenever you get to the point where you will work all day, give everything you got, work so hard, and at the end of the day, you have nothing to show for it. People, we have to realize that Black history is not just about Black people. It's about a mentality. We got to work very, very, very hard to get that mentality out of here. Children, they need to go and start reading. Read a book every single day. The kids' vocabulary gotta come up. They seem to be getting lazier as they come. This is not helpful to us. We need these children to be our next generation. It's not about Martin Luther King and walking hand in hand with black and white people, because they're already doing that. Our young people, they don't care about the lines of race. They really don't. But what they're doing is they're captivating all of the kids now because they can't figure out how to separate. So now they just lump them all together. These kids are off the chain. And our school system is failing them. Our criminal justice system is failing them. Our juvenile justice is failing them. Everywhere we look, we are failing these kids. And if we really want to teach kids about African American history, let's teach them about the struggle. Let's teach them about being ambitious. Let's teach them about being motivated to go and get anything they want to go get. I'm not saying all of them are the same way, but man, it's a bunch of them. Walking around singing songs about Molly Percocets and everything else. All they talking about is hustling and in the streets and selling drugs, and that ain't what hip hop was made for. Don't get me wrong, NWA, 2 Live Crew, they came out with the true essence of rap, and I'm not knocking any of it. But all I'm saying is we are starting to become enslaved to our own mentality. And if we are really, really caring about these young people, let's get out there and change this system. It's David Brooks, the Cadillac Counselor, just coming in just to tell you a little piece of my mind. Take it easy. Bye.